Hello everyone, so this is Total Body Circuits. While we're waiting for any participants to come in, I'm just going to share my screen for about 30 seconds or so. All right, just one moment and we will get started. All right, so we are going to get started with our warm-up. So just a quick overview of any equipment you will need today. So right now I have one set of medium dumbbells, which are 10 pounds, one set of heavier dumbbells, which are 15 pounds, and I have a mat. You can use any soft surface, such as a carpet or a towel. And for music today, I'm just going to be playing some music in the background, so we're not timing any of the movements to music today. So you can feel free to listen to whatever background music you want. So we are going to get started with our warm-up. All right, so just coming over to your mat, we're just gonna start with some arm circles. You can start going forward and start with small arm circles and then go ahead and bigger as you go around. Really just loosening up the upper body and go ahead and switch directions right here. Really making sure to lengthen that chest out, lifting it up towards the ceiling. And in a few seconds, we're gonna walk down to the mat. So coming to the end of your mat right here, you're gonna walk your hands out to plank position and walk back up. Really just lengthening out the lower body right here, making sure you're keeping your core engaged throughout the movement and tucking those hips under as well. And this is providing a nice stretch for your hamstrings. If you've been sitting all day, this will be nice to really warm up those legs. And walking down, you're going to stay in the plank position and take one leg forward and open up towards that bent knee and go ahead and alternate legs. Really lengthen up, reaching up towards the ceiling. Once again, keeping that chest nice and open. And in a few seconds, we're going to stand back up. And going ahead and standing up right here. Kicking that leg up, you're going to touch your hand and foot. Once again, really loosening up that lower body. You can feel free to add a slight twist with that chest as well. Keeping that core engaged right here. Protecting your lower back. And in a few seconds, coming down to the floor again. We're going to take it down for some slow burpees, so no jumping right here just yet. Simply squatting down. You're going to walk it back, walk it up. And if you want, you can get up on those toes as well. Just a nice low impact version for your warm up right here, since we're getting into some more high impact moves later in the workout. And in a few seconds, we're going to move into some jumping jacks. So starting with a little more high impact, jumping jacks right here. Make sure that you keep a slight bend in those knees right here. Once again, your chest is lifted tall up towards the ceiling. Touching those hands together at the top. Keeping it light on the balls of your feet. Really going at your own pace right here. All right, and 1 second, we're going to end off the warm-up with some high knees. It's really getting that heart rate up right here in preparation for the cardio circuits. For side view, you really want to line up your knees with your waist level. Get them parallel to the floor. Jogging it up for 3, 2, and 1. So that was our warm-up right there. You got a little bit of cardio, and at the end, to really get your heart rate up. So making sure that you're grabbing some water right here. And catching your breath just a little bit before we get into our first circuit. Whew. All right, so our first circuit today, I'm just going to check something. Okay. All right, so our first circuit today is going to be a cardio Tabata circuit. So we're going to have 2 sets. Your first set is going to be 2 moves, and all these moves are going to be 30 seconds on and 30 seconds off. So we're going to have 4 moves in total. So your first move for 30 seconds, you're going to step forward. You're going to take a tuck jump like so, land in a nice squat, and step it back. If you are not feeling up for the tuck jump, you can take a squat jump or just a normal squat. So that would be step back, squat, step forward, squat. And after that, for your next set, coming over to the mat, you're going to touch hand to foot for a toe touch. And then you're going to touch your elbows down to the mat and coming up on the opposite side. So you're staying in that crab position, touch, elbows down, and touch. And I'll explain your second set as we go through the circuit. So for your first move, getting ready for that tuck jump in 3, 2, and 1. Step forward, tuck jump, back, tuck jump. Once again, take it for the regular squat jump or just the simple squat. Really starting with whatever comfort level makes you feel best. If you want high impact and you want to challenge yourself, go for the tuck jump. If your knees aren't feeling up for it today, go ahead and take it into that squat. This is only 30 seconds. So we're going to rest in 3, 2, and 1. These are high intensity intervals right here. You want to max out maximum speed for 30 seconds and completely recover for the next 30 seconds. We're going to come down to the mat for the next move. Those crab toe touches and touch the elbows down in just about 10 seconds. Making sure that you're keeping your core engaged throughout this movement to really keep that upper body stable. And go ahead, hand to foot, elbows down, toe touch. Even though this is a more low impact movement, you want to keep your core stable. You want to focus on maximizing efficiency, getting as many reps in these 30 seconds as possible. Challenge yourself with each rep. Can you engage those triceps to propel yourself forward? Can you get your leg higher every time, reaching for your goals? Rest in 3, 2, and 1. Your next move for your second set, you're going to grab your medium dumbbell, so I have my 10 pounds. You're coming up on your toes, dumbbell comes up, and slam it towards the floor. Up and slam. If you want, you can drop the dumbbell at any point. 30 seconds on in 3, 2, and 1. Really get up on those toes and slam that dumbbell towards the floor. Just like in the warm-up, you want that chest lifted high. You want to maximize the range of motion. Seeing if you can push those knees out and touch the walls on either side of the room. Slamming that dumbbell down like you want to bust a hole in the floor. Using all your strength, engaging that core, and rest. Dropping that weight right here. For your final cardio move, we're going to do high knees, starting with 8 fast reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 8 slow ones. Whew, sorry. And we're going to go for a sprint at the end of the move. 10 seconds right here. 8 fast high knees, 8 slow high knees. In 3, 2, and 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and slow it down. So this move right here is like its own mini high intensity interval. Going fast, then slow. Maximizing speed, maximizing recovery. Final 5 seconds. Sprint for 3, 2, and 1. Rest right here. So that was your final cardio move. Go ahead and grab some water and I will take you through our next circuit. I'm sure we're all feeling really warm right here. Those intervals are tough, but they're really efficient to really get that heart rate maxed out, even if it's only for 30 seconds at a time. So your next circuit is going to be a compound strength circuit, and we're doing 5 minutes with 1 minute per exercise. For your first move, I'm grabbing 1 heavy dumbbell, and we're doing a double kettlebell swing. So you're going to take your feet outside your hips. If you've seen a kettlebell swing before, it goes like this. So hips hinge back, not into a full squat, but just a half squat. And then for the next move, we're bringing in the squat. So swing back, down, back, up, back, down, back, up. This is too much for your back right here. You can go ahead and reduce the weight or just take it for 1 regular dumbbell swing. For the next move, I'm grabbing 1 heavy dumbbell once again. And we're doing a single arm row to deadlift. So bending it over at 45 degrees. You're taking it for 1 row, deadlift down, dumbbell touches the floor, and stand all the way up. Row, touch down, deadlift up. And we're switching arms 30 seconds through. Next up, we're doing a squat push, dumbbell push to pull. So grabbing my 1 medium weight, coming into a squat, and you're going to push that dumbbell forward and really pull it in. So you really want to maximize that pushing and pulling movement to really keep those shoulders engaged. And the legs are static, so they're building up that tension right there. And for your next move, coming down to the mat once again. I'm grabbing my 2 heavy dumbbells. Your legs are going to stay at 90 degrees for tricep extension. Palms are facing in. Move back and up, back and up. And finally, feet are planted on the floor. You can do heavy or medium dumbbells for a chest fly. And those are our 5 moves. So once again, I will take you through each of them as we go through the circuit. Go ahead and grab that final sip of water, really catching your breath. And we're going to get started with that double kettlebell swing in just about 15 seconds. So once again, picking up that the weight that you feel best with. I'm taking the 15 pounds. You can do 10 or 5 pounds as well. Double kettlebell swing in 3, 2, and 1. Once again, we're going back, swing up, back, down, back, up, back, down. It's really important right here to keep your core engaged and really making sure that you're tucking those hips under to protect the lower back. If at any point the squat is too much for you, keep it going with the regular kettlebell swing. So your hips are hinging slightly back, but you're not going all the way to squat at that 90-degree angle. Really propelling yourself forward with the hips like you would throw the weight across the room. Really maximizing the power of that lower body and really engaging with that core to keep it all stable. Resting in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and drop that weight. We're going into that single arm row to deadlift. Shake out those hands. Pick it up once again. Bending over. You're doing row, deadlift, up, row, down, up. Once again, it's really important to tuck those hips under right here. These moves can put a lot of stress on your lower back if you're not fully engaging those abs. So really tucking those hips under. Go ahead and switch arms. I'll show you the other side. Keeping that 45-degree angle. And making sure you're touching the dumbbell down at the bottom. To really maximize that range of motion in the deadlift. Challenging yourself right here. If you're not feeling those hamstrings pull, you're not feeling that little bit of pressure in the glutes, maybe it's time to increase the weight. Go ahead and drop that dumbbell, picking up the medium one, and squat, push to pull. Stepping your feet slightly outside your hips for a wide squat stance, like so. Dumbbell push to pull right here. Once again, really focusing on that pushing and pulling movement, like you want to throw that dumbbell across the room, or like you're playing a game of catch with it, and really pulling it towards your chest, like you want it to slam against you. Hips are tucked under right here. Legs are locked in that squat position. Knees are pressing out right here to really maximize that load on your glutes. The static position right here is really helping you build up tension, increasing that muscular strength and endurance. Go ahead and drop that weight right here. Coming into those tricep extensions. Legs at the tabletop position right here. Elbows are stacked right above your shoulders, and arms are coming into a 90-degree angle. If you want a little more challenge for your core, as you lower the dumbbells, lower your legs as well. It's really important for you to press your lower back into the mat right here, making sure that upper body is stable. Second to last move of the circuit right here. Your arms are working, your legs are working, and your core is working. Really maximizing that muscular strength. Holding on right here. Final move of this circuit. You're going to plant your feet and go into a chest fly. Palms are facing in towards each other, just like in the tricep extensions. Keeping those elbows wide, and a slight bend in those elbows. Feeling the pressure build up in your chest at the bottom. And really try to bring those elbows together at the top, but don't touch those dumbbells together. Squeezing with the chest from the bottom. Seeing if it's like you're wrapping your arms around a giant tree trunk. Really trying to keep that wide open frame. Lifting that chest up. Squeezing those chest muscles. A few more seconds right here and you are done with this circuit. We're going to go ahead and rest in 3, 2, and 1. Drop that weight. All right, so that was your second circuit. You're done with that first strength one. And next up, we're going into our final cardio circuit of the class. So we're going to just have 5 moves and with 1 minute per exercise. So go ahead and grab some water. Your first move right here is you're going to do 3 ladders into 4 jumping jacks. What the ladder looks like, you're going to step your feet out, out, in and in. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 jumping jacks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Next up, you're going to do a forward bound and shuffle back. So just like that first move in the Tabata, you're going to jump forward into a squat and shuffle back. You can also just land in a half squat position if your legs are a bit too maxed out right here. And next up, we're going to do a diagonal crunch, standing up. So elbows come wide. You're going to try to bring your knee to shoulder, knee to shoulder. For a nice low impact break in between. And after that, you're going to do 8 bench taps to mountain climbers, or simply low high knees if you don't have a bench in front of you. So bring your knees up, you're going to go to feet, and jump it down for 4 mountain climbers. And finally, we're going to bring it to skaters for the last move. So jumping off the outside leg, touching down, jumping side to side, and touching the floor in between each move. So I'm just going to go ahead and towel off a little bit. So going ahead and grabbing your last sip of water, catching your breath, and we're going to get started in just about 12 seconds with those 3 ladders and 4 jumping jacks. In 3, 2, and 1. Ladders right here, 2, 3, and 4 jumping jacks. Really maximizing the speed right here, seeing how fast you can get your feet out and in. Challenge yourself every time. How many reps can you squeeze in to those few seconds? How quickly can you get those feet out and in for this last half of this move? Chest is reaching tall. Really focusing on that vertical motion right here. Feet go fast out and in for these last 10 seconds. Can you get one more round in? 3, 2, and 1. All right, so coming into those forward bounds and shuffle backs. Jumping forward off of both feet, landing in that squat position, shuffle back. Once again, see how many reps you can get in this 1 minute. Challenging yourself with that forward movement. See how much momentum you can generate by jumping off those 2 feet. Really pressing off the balls of the feet. Focusing on getting farther forward each time. If you have a mat next to you, challenge yourself to jump the whole length of the mat. If you want a bit of a low impact version right here, go ahead and squat it down without jumping. So simply step forward, squat, and shuffle back for 3, 2, and 1. Going into the spot to the diagonal crunch. Elbows come wide right here, and crunching shoulder to knee. So making sure that you keep your elbows wide right here, and you're feeling a slight pinch in those obliques. If you're not feeling that, making sure that you're really engaging those abs as you crunch up, trying to get that knee all the way to your shoulder, and keeping the elbows wide to provide more resistance. Just about done with this move. We can be about 15 more seconds, and then we are moving into those high knees to mountain climbers. Switching in 3, 2, and 1. Facing forward, doing 8 high knees. Jumping down for 4 mountain climbers. Making sure you're keeping your core engaged throughout this movement. This will really help you maintain that upper body stability and make sure and allow you to maximize your speed with the mountain climbers. Trying to bring your knee to chest every time once you hit the mat. Driving those knees forward in the mountain climbers. We're resting in just a few seconds. Switching to skaters. In 3, 2, and 1. Final cardio move right here. Making sure you're exploding off that outside foot and touching the floor, which made a strap. Push yourself right here in this final cardio move to maximize the speed, maximize that air time. Once your feet hit the floor, you're exploding upward. You're launching yourself from side to side, fast as you can right here. You're over halfway through, and then you are done with cardio. Jump it with me for these last 10 seconds. You get 5 more reps in. 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and rest right here. You are done with cardio. Go ahead and catch your breath, grab some water, and I will take you through our next circuit. Okay, so our next circuit is going to be our final compound strength circuit. Once again, it is also going to be 5 minutes with 1 minute per exercise, or it's going to be 6 minutes, I apologize. And we're going to do a set of 3 exercises with a 15-second break in between, and then repeating those 3 exercises once again. So I'm grabbing one of my medium dumbbells. Let me get to the plank position. Keeping your feet shoulder width apart. We're going to do a single arm row and press overhead. Keeping with the same side for 30 seconds, and then we're going to switch. Coming up, you can grab your medium or heavy dumbbell, holding the dumbbell at chest level. Holding the dumbbell at chest level, you're going to come into a squat, curtsy lunge, staying low in the squat, and other side, curtsy lunge. After that, you are taking both of your medium dumbbells and you're going to do a reverse lunge bicep curl. So stepping it back. As you lunge down, curl with those biceps. Stand up, alternating sides, down, and curl. And after that, you get a 15-second rest. And then we're just going to repeat those 3 moves. Oh, sorry. I'm really catching my breath here. And that will be our final strength circuit. So just grabbing one more sip of water, and we're going to get started. Coming down to the mat in 3, 2, and 1. So once again, maintaining that plank position. We're going to go row, press up, and row, and back to plank. If you want to, you can keep that bottom knee pressed down. So I have my left arm rowing right here, so my right knee is on the floor. In just a few seconds, we're going to go ahead and switch sides, making sure that when you come down after that overhead press, your hips are completely square to the floor. Go ahead and switch sides. Making sure you're keeping that core stable throughout the movement. This will really make sure that your upper body is staying as still as possible at the top of the movement. And really opening that chest towards the top, just like we did in the warm-up. Really stretching out, opening up through the length of your arms. And go ahead, drop that weight. Taking your heavy or medium dumbbell, we're doing the lateral curtsy lunge transfer. Staying low in that squat right here. Really important to keep your hips tucked under, keeping that core engaged to really protect that lower back. Staying low in the squat position will maintain the load on your legs throughout the movement and really increase that muscular endurance and muscular strength. In 10 seconds, picking up those medium dumbbells for the reverse lunge to bicep curl. Go ahead and drop the heavy dumbbell. And stepping back, down on the lunge, curl up, and alternating sides. So at the top of the movement right here, as I step in, I'm staying in that half squat to really keep the weight in the legs and the quads especially. Chest is lifted throughout the movement. So you're really keeping the shoulders stacked on top of the hips. A few more seconds right here, and we'll have a quick rest. Pushing through. And rest right here. So we're repeating those moves once again. Coming down to the mat. The plank to overhead press in 3, 2, and 1. So I'm starting with my right side because I did the left side first in the first round. Once again, feel free to join in with my modification by keeping one knee firmly planted on the floor. If you're really feeling up for a challenge today and you want to challenge that core strength, go ahead and move to both feet. And we're going to switch sides, taking the dumbbell in your other hand. And once you come to the bottom of the movement right here, once again, keeping those hips square, tucking those hips under so that you're maximizing that core strength and really stabilizing yourself throughout. And in a few seconds, we're going to stand it up in 3, 2, and 1. So we're doing that lateral transfer right here. I'm grabbing my medium dumbbell this time. Wide squat stance. And curtsy lunge right here. It's okay to keep this movement really slow and controlled, so we're not rushing through, making sure we're protecting that lower back, pushing those knees out. Once again, maintaining that tension in those quads. We're really working that lower body today. This will help us in those explosive movements that we do in the cardio circuits. In just a few seconds, you're going to grab the other medium dumbbell for the reverse lunge to bicep curl in 3, 2, and 1. I'm picking up the other 10-pounder. Once again, we're alternating sides right here. Stepping back and curl. Making sure that both of your legs are hitting 90-degree angles in this position right here. Keeping your legs parallel to the floor. And pushing that front knee out. This is your last strength movement of the class right here. Focusing on form, not rushing through. In these last 15 seconds, fighting through that fatigue. Pushing through. I know those legs are tired, but you're giving me 5 more seconds, and you are done in 5, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and drop that weight. All right, so taking a moment to catch your breath right here before we move in to our final circuit, which is core. So just grabbing a sip of water. All right, so our core circuit right here is just going to be 5 minutes with 1 minute per exercise. I'm just going to move the dumbbells out of the way. All right, so coming down to a forearm plank for our first move. You're taking your feet shoulder width apart, and you're going to lightly touch your knees down to the mat for our first move. After that, coming up onto the hands, you're going to take that right knee to the left elbow, to the right elbow, and then left knee to right elbow, left knee to left elbow. After that, we're going to flip around to the back, and we're going to do some bicycle crunches. So keeping those elbows wide, just like in the standing crunches, knees come to tabletop. We're going to do 1, 2, and then we're going to pulse 1, 2, and 1, 2. So 2 reps, and then pulse, 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 pulse. And after that, we're going to stack the knee, the shoulder on top of your elbow, other arm comes straight around the back, and your hips are slightly stacked on top of each other. You're going to bring your knees in, and then top leg splits back, in, and back. And the last minute will be that other side. So in just under 20 seconds, we are going to get started. So just 5 more moves right here, and we are all done with class. Make them your best. Really focus on that mind to muscle connection and really feeling yourself engaging that core through each movement. Forearm plank right here. Once again, feet are shoulder width apart and lightly touching those knees down. So you're not fully coming into that knee plank. It's just a light tap. If you want to take that modification and come to your knees, then you're doing that opposite way. So slightly extending those legs out. So you're moving from the bottom instead of the top. Once again, making sure your hips are really tucked under right here to protect that lower back. And when your knees come to the floor right here, making sure that it's a really silent movement, and that will ensure that your knees are really tapping down lightly and you're maximizing that core brace as much as possible. Coming onto your hands for the diagonal to side knee. Once again, right knee across and to the side, diagonal and to the side. If you want to drop down to your knees, you can just do that side knee right here. You're still getting a core workout, even if you're on your knees right here. You're still tucking those hips under. You're still bracing that core, and you're still feeling that pinch in your oblique every time you crunch that knee out to the side. If you want even more of a challenge from this movement, keep your foot hovering over the floor without touching down for just about 10 seconds, and then you're going to flip over to the back. Focusing on muscular endurance right here. Staying up as long as possible for 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and flip around. So once again, Keeping those elbows flat. Gonna go crunch, crunch, double pulse, and double pulse. Oops, sorry, my earbuds. So in these pulses right here, really making sure it's a small movement at the top of the range. So right where your abs are pinching the most is where you're gonna pulse. Really strengthening and toning right here, keeping my core engaged. If you're not feeling that your abs light up throughout, really brace them even harder. And flipping over. Once again, your elbow is going to be stacked right under your shoulder. Other arm comes straight around the back. And leg slightly on the front. You're going to crunch and split. So your knee, make sure your knees aren't facing up towards the ceiling, but they're facing in front of you, towards the front of the room. And this will engage your obliques even more. Keeping the movement slow and controlled. So really brace, I would help you brace your abs throughout the movement and keep your core engaged as long as possible. In a few seconds, we're going to flip around to do that second side and flipping around right here. Arm comes straight around the back, crunch, and split back. Once again, if you need a modification, just doing the top leg. This will reduce the load slightly. Sorry, I should have given this modification before. But keeping that top leg, the bottom leg pressed to the mat. Keeping it slow and controlled right here. Really focusing on that mind to muscle connection. Feeling that pinch in your oblique throughout the movement will really ensure that you're making this move as efficient as possible and working your core as much as possible. For 3, 2, and 1. All right, so taking some deep breaths out here, go ahead and rest. Pushing your breath. So we're just going to take a moment to put our heart rates down before we move into our cool down. We're going to stretch it out, let all those muscles recover. Really bring that heart rate down and make sure we are feeling relaxed at the end of our workout. So go ahead and drink a little water before we stretch. And when you're ready, we're going to come into a hamstring stretch. So staying on the mat right here, just extending that front leg forward and keeping a slight bend in the knee. Taking some deep breaths and really stretching out the back of the leg, making sure you feel a slight pull in your hamstring. And go ahead and switch sides. And go ahead and untuck that back foot, making sure your hips are square and in line. And we're going to flip over to the back. So coming down to the back, Stacking one ankle on top of the knee for a glute stretch. You can go ahead and extend that bottom leg if you want. And really pushing that top knee out to really stretch the back of the leg. And go ahead and switch legs. And go ahead and stand up. We're going to do a quad stretch next. So whichever side you want, bring that leg up and flexing the back foot and tucking those hips under once again. Really just making sure that you're opening up the front of the leg and pushing the hips forward. If you're having a little trouble balancing, go ahead and focus on the point in front of you, just a few feet ahead, something static, so that you can maintain your stability and help you balance a little bit. And letting that leg go, we're going to take a tricep stretch. So taking one arm back and reaching that hand in between your shoulder blades, making sure you feel that stretch in the back of your arm. And go ahead and switch sides. And go ahead and drop that arm. Step in one leg behind. We're going to do a T-band stretch. To really stretch out the side. This will be good after all the work that those obliques did. To really stretch out the side of your core, lengthening up through the chest, lifting towards the ceiling, and go ahead and switch sides. Reaching up with that other arm, over and across. And when you're ready, let's take one more deep breath together. All right, so that was Total Body Circuits. Once again, my name is Jillian. I hope you all enjoyed our workout today. I hope you challenge yourself. I hope you were able to follow along well. And I hope everyone had fun. So thank you so much for watching. Once again, this was Total Body Circuits with Jillian. All right, so thank you for watching.